everybody, today I'm going to be telling you a story without characters. This is like the 80s. So please listen. Once upon a time, there was a little girl that was a naughty girl that never listened to her parents and always watches and never pay attention at her test and school and never studies for her tests. And one day her parents did a deal when she was finally 13 years old. They put her in boarding school. She didn't want to, but she really wanted to run away from her parents and have her own life with her friends. So she went. At the way, she went to the airport and got her tickets and went to the airplane. When she went to the airplane, she started having a great day, but somebody was looking at her. She thought it was somebody in her dorm because she looks just like her. Well, like the age, but it was an old man. And then when she turned around to not look at him and not pay attention at her flight's telling. Because she wants to have a little nap and she wants to a time so she can't be stuck in the plane, and she already arrived because it's only 6-hour airplane ride, perhaps. So when she arrived in her destination, that person that was looking at her still was looking at her and following her, but she thought it was just the principal or a teacher going to the same school. So she didn't pay attention. She went to her school and she went to her dorm and she met a friend. Like, she's gonna make a friend. That's it. Go. All right. So let's continue. How can I? And then when she unpacked her stuff and was ready to go to school, she found that weird guy looking at her in the school gates. So in the recess time. So she went to her next class and she started studying a lot, because when her grades go down 50, she's seriously suspended from school. So she needed to study great so she can't go again here. So yeah. And then when she was done in her class, she went to history class to study a lot in her first day of school. Boarding school, I mean. When she got out and went to recess, she found the same guy again. She was so confused and started getting crazy. She didn't know and she got confused. What is this? Is this a misunderstanding? I mean, when she got back in her dorm, she went to bed, but she still wouldn't think about that guy. And then she didn't sleep the entire night so she wouldn't pay attention tomorrow morning in her school. Tomorrow morning, she got in math class. And she got to math class in the window, staring. The same guy. And then, when she turned back to her teacher, she glanced that dude, I don't know, that freaking dude, glanced at glanced at her. She freaked out, but her teacher yelled. Okay, that's awkward, but let's continue. The teacher yelled at her, and she went to the principal's office. She got detention for 2 weeks. Wow, I don't want to be in boarding school forever and forever. And then when she was going back home in her dorm, that guy popped out in the school's gates and run to her. She runs for her life, shouting for help, shouting and shouting until she made it into her dorm, and she locked. She locked. She was screaming for help because that dude didn't left. That freaking dude, that jerk. She said, and she called the principal and her mom and dad and the rest of her family to come and help. She even called the police. 10 policemen. 30 policemen came because that was the dangerous villain, thief in Earth. He was the dangerous kidnapper that goes to every school and starts haunting people and kidnapping them and making them work for him until they die. She was so glad she was so glad that she didn't got kidnapped and then she will die. Fortunately. And then she continued the rest of the day in boarding school. But after 1 week, that freaking dude got out of jail and runs away. He went to her, haunting her with a glanced face. His uniform was orange. And his face was pale. His eyes were scary, like he was gonna bite. Oh, and don't forget his teeth were sharp as a chainsaw. Brum. So you guys, that was really funny. And then she started backing away from that playground, that recess area. She went to her classes in the farthest way, but a shortcut way, but a safer way. It was a long way, and she will get late for 1 minute. But it was the safest way for her. She kept telling her teachers and principal and parents, but they still said that he was still in jail. And then, but the policemen didn't notice that he runs away because suddenly every night they see him sleeping because he puts a dummy in his table and blanket. So they thought he was so angry that he slept the entire day, the entire 1 year, 2 years in jail without food or water. They thought he was dead. Dead. And dead. Sorry guys, sorry. But they still left him there. She was not sure about that guy until the boarding school was end. It was time for the graduations. She graduated and got A+ in all her exams. So when she went back home, in the way with her friends, when the friends wanted to go buy something in the shop, that kidnapper took her and kidnapped her. And then that kidnapper leads her into a dark garage. It was like somebody was in there, like there was a crutch. She slept the entire night in the garage without him seeing. Without him seeing, she was crying, man, and she was working every day. In the night, she slept peacefully until tomorrow morning. She found a tarantula. Yep, a tarantula. A big one, actually. She screamed for help and screamed for help. And she said this: "What the heck I think that was actually really funny. Until finally, the police found her. She never went to that stinky little boarding school ever again. And she still went to her normal school forever. But that guy's still looking at her, calling the police, stealing her, and finding a tarantula every day in her bed. That was like the silliest story I've ever seen. And the funniest too. I'm just making a funny story because I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually liking this. And then, when she got kidnapped again, the silliest story ever. And when the tarantula came, she got ready. She got a hammer. A hammer, you see that? And she said, "Get the fuck out of my house! Get the fuck out of this garage! Get out!" And he ran away. But when he ran away, he got his entire family ready with bites, sharp teeth. She screamed for her life and said, "Get the fuck out of this! Get the fuck out of my house! Well, garage, I think. Yeah, it's a garage. Please help me. You're supposed to stay with me." Until that guy came. He started hitting him with a bat. The tarantula was in the bed and he ran away because the police was here. She ran away and went to a dorm because she was now a parent for all these years. She was now a parent. And she moved everywhere, even though he was always following her. And she moved in another place that he can never, ever, ever go to that ever again. Because she pretended to go to California. But she actually went to Mexico. Da-da! And then she was there forever. And she never saw her parents ever again. And they died. And then she got kidnapped again. And the tarantulas is a tarantula story. That was the silliest story I've ever seen because this was so funny I couldn't even stop laughing. I think I ruined the video by my laughing. Sorry. Well, that was actually really funny. I'm not gonna lie. All right, bye. Make sure to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell for more videos. So without further ado, let's just end the video in this funny story. In the 80s, and the tarantulas are still in your bed. Bye.